On this week's show, Toy Box Tales number 1. All this and more on episode 83 of the Inside Infinity podcast.
What's up, guys? This is John Vignacchi, executive producer on Disney Infinity, and you are listening to Inside Infinity, the first official Disney Infinity podcast on the net.
Inside Infinity is brought to you with support from Evil Lost Customs. Evil Lost Customs is your number one place for Disney Infinity related customs. Last week he gave away an awesome Randall figure, which was a cool galactic one. Head on over to evillost.com to find out more. Hello everyone, welcome to episode number 83 of the Inside Infinity podcast, recorded on April 6th, 2015. I had Lim over there doing a ventriloquist act as I was doing the Evil Lost custom ad, and it kind of messed me up, so thanks for that, jerk. It's always a fun little game seeing if I can go without laughing during that segment. I'm one of your three hosts tonight, Will Kelly. Joining me to my right, I think, is Jason Haynes, the one and only Jason, coming now from Australia. How are you doing tonight, buddy?
G'day, Will. G'day, listeners. And g'day, Lim.
Oi.
And that other person you see there is none other than Lim Filia. Lim, Bad Gamer official. How are you doing tonight, buddy?
It's awesome. It's an awesome night. It's above zero.
Is everything awesome?
Everything is awesome. Everything is cool when you're part of. I can just sing the whole song.
I'm sure you can. I'm sure you can. Had to fix something over there. Welcome, buddy. Glad to have you back on tonight's show. I'd like to welcome everyone who is with us in the chat room as well. So this is going to be another hybrid show like last week because there wasn't too much news to talk about. So the three of us are doing pretty much a roundtable for the entire thing. We have a few news items that we're going to talk about. So and then we're going to talk about a roundtable discussion of the week. Before we get started, I'd like to, again, say hello to everyone in the chat. If you'd like to chat with us while we're recording live each and every Monday evening, you can do that. Head over to twitch.tv/Disney Infinity TV. You can follow us, and then you get notified every time we go live, and we do gameplay sessions. We do the show live each and every week, and it's a great time. I just want to say hello to a few friends, lots of friends in the chat. Want to say what's up, Daniel Dragon Skull? Good seeing you back, buddy. Latin Soul, good seeing you as well. We have Mighty Gidas Lauren. How are you doing tonight? We have Sumerian or Samaritan, Good Samaritan, for Romulus. Good seeing you, my friend. Sonic Photo, Tyrell Wildlife. Welcome, everyone. I didn't mention everyone's name, but we do appreciate each and every one of you joining us tonight. I think it's going to be a fun show, and we want to chat with all of you, so make sure you're filling out that chat room, and we will mention it. Before we get things started, I want to send a few shout outs. I already said one. Autocorrect on Twitter screwed me up earlier. So Sumerian, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. It autocorrected to Samaritan. And also want to shout out to Josh, also known as CC Runner, who will be listening to this tomorrow from the future, Jason's time. So I want to say hello to him since he'll be tuning in after the fact. Another couple shout outs. Got to give a big shout out to Miss Lauren, aka Mighty Gidas, in the chat, who tomorrow will be celebrating a birthday. So happy birthday to you, Lauren. Also happy birthday to another really good friend of ours and a good friend of the show, MTM, Model Train Man, also known as Nick. Happy birthday to the two of you. Lim, I know you're ready with the song. I don't know if you want to. Oh, we can't sing happy birthday. Can you ad-lib a happy birthday song real quick with your ukulele?
Wait. What? I can't do it with the ukulele, but I can do this. What? Whose birthday is it? Man?
It's Lauren and Nick.
Okay. What day is today? It's Lauren and Nick's birthday. What a day for a birthday. Let's all eat some cake.
Amazing.
I can't play that, though.
You can't play that?
No, I don't. I got to figure out the chords.
All right. Well, next time, for the next birthday, for whomever's birthday it is, you can figure out a song and play for them. Lauren, too late, Lauren. There's a little bit
All
of
right.
Twitch delay, and Lauren's like, don't make him do that," but he did it anyway. The joke's on them. Oh, too fun. Well, happy birthday,
Oh.
guys. You guys are awesome members of the community, both accomplished toy box artists, and you're friends of ours, so happy birthday. And anyone who's listening or watching chat, reach out to them on Twitter. Look for them on there and send them happy birthday wishes. Gentlemen, the first thing I wanted to discuss tonight, unfortunately, this is kind of going to be a one-man show part of this week's show. I Heart Infinity. We spoke about them. It's been a while, but we have spoken about them a while ago. They were awesome enough to send us a code to try out their brand new app. So it's you can find the app either through the show notes that we will post tomorrow, or you can just do an iTunes search for I Heart Infinity. And this is a $2 app, and it's a checklist app. It's a news app. There's even a little bit of FAQ action in there. I do want to preface this conversation with this isn't going to be a review, because again they did give us a code so that we could talk about the app, and so we didn't pay, so I don't want to give a review on it, but I did just want to share the app and talk about it a little bit and give you some of my thoughts. It's not going to be too in depth. I just got it today, but there's some things on here I really kind of dig. So we go to, this is what it's going to look like when you first set up an account. And then when you set up an account, you have to give them an email address and some biographical information about yourself, where you're at and stuff like that. And that is actually intended for trades. So when you do that, you can go into characters. And I've actually already gone through here and added all of my characters. You can filter these things by what playsets they are, and also their rarity. Here we're looking at crystals. And you can go into a figure and you can add it as an owned up at the top left, or you can add to your wish list. I've already added these, so they're showing up as owned. And it's really kind of cool. Then you can pop back in here and go into your collections and actually take a look at all of your collections. So there's a few different ways of adding figures or Power Disc. My favorite thing to do is actually go into your collections, then look what you are looking for. In this case, let's go into Power Disc because there's a lot I haven't added yet. And you pull to refresh to bring up more. And it reloads. And so I like adding from the collection because you can add multiples. Otherwise, if you go into the different sections themselves, like if you go into Power Disc, you have to actually go to the Power Disc, you have to click on the Power Disc, and then from here you have to mark as owned in the upper left-hand corner. That's why I like going into the collection section, because then you can just do multiples. So as you can see, it's a really pretty looking app. I like that that when you go into figures, it gives you some information about the figures. It gives you a short little synopsis. It tells you where they're playable, what are some of the abilities and some of the skills. So really detailed. You can also talk about, let's see if we open up the more details. It's just going to actually open up the character in the I Heart Infinity web app. And we're going to pop back in. So really robust. One thing I kind of found interesting is, as you can see here, if you take a look at Loki, some of the art is not the standard kind of box art that you see everywhere else. Jack Sparrow Crystal here is, but then if you look at Loki, Thor, Hawkeye looks normal. Iron Fist looks a little bit different. So some of the poses, Gamora looks a little different. Drax. So they look different than the standard images that you see. So that's pretty. I just think that's interesting. If you go to the news section, it actually is pulling from the I Heart Infinity website. Last thing I want to show you here is something that's really kind of cool. They have a trading system. So this is where the geographical information is, and so you can see. Oops, my text message pop up. You can see what available trades there are and some of the locations. So that's why you have to put in the location of the where you're at, so you can find people to trade with. So if we click on here, you can view profile. I actually haven't done this yet. So I don't know how the method of communication is. So yeah, I don't know. This is just kind of a first hands-on impression. I just got the app today. Really kind of dig it. It is a premium app though. You're looking at $2 for the app, so keep that in mind. There's other alternatives out there, but this is one that is pretty robust and it's very pretty as well. So yeah, so that's the iHeart Infinity app. So thanks Will over there at iHeart Infinity for sending that over to us and letting us talk about a little bit. I don't know if there's anyone in the chat. Let us know if you've had a chance to play with this app or not, if you've seen it. Yeah, just wanted to mention that. So again, if you like the app or you want to find out more, you can search for it on iTunes, look for iHeart Infinity, or you can look in the show notes and we will show it off there. So thanks again for that, Will. It's interesting. We have lots of names in the Infinity world. So there's lots of Jasons out there. You're the only Lim I know. There's a few Wills. There's lots of Steves or Stevens. So I don't know where we're just not unique individuals. We all, maybe Infinity isn't the only thing we have in common. We also have the fact that we're have similar names. So. Cool. Well, so yeah, that's that. Now let's discuss the only other real news item we have of the week. So it's been teased for a while now. Do you guys see this awesome new news? The Toy Box Tales Episode 1 was finally announced. So Toy Box Tales Avengers 1. Here it is looking at the Disney Infinity website with the where you can copy the link and you can download it to your save, or you can find it through the community section through Disney Infinity, the console, or iPad. The description this week is Toy Box Tales number 1. The Red Skull is back, taking the Avengers by surprise. He's leading Hydra in an attack on the SHIELD helicarrier. Can you stop them? This is a single-player experience. Before we start talking about it too much more, we should probably give a spoiler alert for anyone that doesn't want to be spoiled. The rest of the conversation on tonight's show is going to be discussing this Toy Box Tales Episode 1. So if you don't want to hear what happens, if you haven't had a chance to play it yet, turn it off now and catch up with us next week. Wildlife2222 says, already played it. It was good. Matt88 is saying, Lim, you look like you need some attention, so I'm going to give you some attention. Have you had a chance to play the first Toy Box Tales yet?
I did play the first Toy Box Tales, and it was pretty interesting because I was playing with a 5-year-old. And all he wanted to do was run around and blow stuff up, which, I wanted to do it too, but in an orderly fashion.
Right. So you wanted to follow the story and do it as the story dictated.
Exactly. It's a storytelling thing. And so so we're sitting there, we're playing, and I loved it. It was great, except for when you're playing with a young person and they want to push all the buttons, you don't get to read everything. So, I don't know what to do. So I think I played it 4 times because I restarted it.
Just to get through the different text triggers and to figure out where to go and what to do.
Absolutely. It was the only way I could do it. And then I actually almost had a trick. I was like, okay, I'm done. He was like, okay, I'm done. I was like, not really. I just need to finish it. And you keep pushing buttons.
You're like, go upstairs and have dinner. I need to finish this.
So that's how it went for me. But I enjoyed it. It was a good story. Lots of different ways to use all the aspects of the toy box.
In what way?
Like the breakaway walls.
Yeah.
I like the breakaway walls when you're supposed to find Coulson.
Uh-huh.
That was really good. And then activating the turbines, when you walk through, you activate the turbines, you're actually activating tiny turbines, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool too. Before I kind of share my thoughts, Jason, what did you think about the first Toy Box Tales? You think it's a good start?
I think it's an excellent start. I think the thing I like about it most, I didn't personally play it. I watched Papa Echo play it on his live stream. If anyone didn't know that, make sure to follow Papa Echo on Twitch, because I think he's going to play through each of the Toy Box Tales as they come out. It's good to get that sort of behind the scenes look. He was saying that it was his first like 2.0 project, I think he said, and what a slap in the face. To just go, oh, okay, so that's how you just come out, like, just whip that up. First time I touched it, and he just blows everything away out of the water. That's classic Papa Echo style. But I particularly loved that it's similar to the Disneyland project, in that they've built this wonderful hub world, and I like the fact that there's these locked doors that's sort of this teaser to upcoming episodes. I think that's a phenomenal way to do it. I really like that. And he was talking about how that hub world can change with each episode and so on. And so that kind of excited me, because it gives it that sort of a good home location. It doesn't just feel like separate boxes, just that aren't connected, so to speak. And I think hopefully, again based on the Disneyland project and stuff, hopefully we can see more of that in the future. I really like that hub world concept of a ever expanding toy box, all built around a particular hub world. So yeah, I loved it. What about your thoughts?
So a little bit of background about the Shield Helicarrier, and Jason, he might have actually mentioned this on his live stream. I missed that too, and I was talking to Romulus about it today, actually. Not Romulus, Jay. I was talking to JB about it earlier today, and he was telling me about Papa Echo's live stream, and I was embarrassed that I didn't follow him on Twitch, so I missed the following notification. So I promptly went and added him, because it sounds like there's some good background information. And I don't know if he talked about this or not, Jason, so correct me if he did. But Papa Echo, before he was working for Disney, one of the last challenges he did a Shield Helicarrier. And it was a really, really cool helicarrier, but it was in 1.0, and so it was limited. And he didn't end up winning that week, because shortly after that, Marvel was announced. And so that's the reason that, unfortunately, that Shield helicarrier didn't win. And so the first thing he wanted to do was expand and enhance his original Shield helicarrier. And so this, in fact, we even talked about it on a show. I think we did some live stream of it. Oh man, I totally forgot about that. And so so this was his expansion of that, and so that's really cool. I thought the helicarrier itself was amazing. I love, like what you said, the different kind of like the Disneyland project, the different hubs. I like the one door that you can kind of tell they're going to expand on. It says, what is the tale from the Toy Box Tales? And you go into it, and it gives you just a little bit of text over nowhere, and you can see there's going to be more. And I don't know, I thought overall, before we get into like the specifics, I thought it was really cool. I liked the story. I liked the humor they added to it. It totally felt Disney Infinity. I mean, I wouldn't even say it was like Marvel humor. It felt like Disney Infinity humor, and kind of like what the Community team, I think, would what they obviously bring to the table. So yeah, I don't know. I thought overall it was a fun experience, and I'm excited to see what we have ahead of us.
Definitely.
So Lim, so for those that haven't played it, let's just walk through the experience. So you start off in the interior of the helicarrier,
right?
And then you are told to, I think you're told to go. Oh no! You just kind of get to explore.
You walk around the helicarrier, but there's only one door you can. Well, technically, I think two doors, but that you can really go through, and it that one door opens you up into the exterior of the, kind of the vestibule of the helicarrier, and you're seeing Mr. Nick Fury.
Yeah, so in
tinier stature.
Yep, in his townsperson version of himself. Yes. So you walk up to him, and he's your first mission giver. And then he tells you that there's an attack on the bridge. I mean, not on the bridge, on the deck of the helicarrier. So go defend the helicarrier for what, a minute and a half or 2 minutes, something like that.
Yep, minute and a half.
It was a great opportunity for me to begin to level up my Falcon because he was still sitting at lowly level 0.
I hear there's a spark generator that you can make.
I've heard that. Don't worry, he may be sitting there as we speak. So that was cool. And then so you defeat those guys, and then you have to go find Coulson, right?
Yes. So that's when, and then Coulson is embarrassed, but I think that was very funny. It was very Ultimate Spider-Man. the conversation between Coulson and Fury, and then you have to, after you find Coulson, you get another mission to go find someone else, which is Captain Marvel, or Ms. Marvel, however you want to say it. But then you have to go find her, and she tells you that you have to start these turbines up, and I think that was my favorite part. It was very simple, but you have to start these turbines up by walking through the checkpoints.
So these are the rear 2 turbines.
Right.
So,
yes.
And like you said, they actually, when you light the beacons up, then it actually lights the mini fans there, and actually creates some turbine action. You see the wind kind of flow up and stuff, and it's really cool. And then what do you have to do after you get those 2 turbines lit up? The radio tower. Remember, you have to.
Yes, there's the radio tower, and there's the target up there. You have to just smash the target up there.
So yeah, it gives you a little bit of a platforming at the radio tower, and so you have to climb your way up there unless you're using Falcon or another flying character, and you can just zoom up. Loki for you. And it's cool because at that point, like, an antenna appears, and then you have to go back down to the bridge, which is not where you started, because like you kind of started in the hangar area at first, and then you have to meet Vision, right? Vision's at the bridge.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, which I thought that was really great for them to use Vision. I personally really would have liked to see Vision as a character, actually a playable character at some point. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. I can't get my X-Men, I'll take the Vision.
I don't even know who's the Vision. Give us a Vision primer.
Vision is an android.
Okay.
He's an android. He's got phasing power. He's got a jewel here. I could be wrong because I'm not a huge Avengers comic reader.
Okay.
But I thought, and I can't get the chat because my Twitch is down.
Oh, yeah. From a couple weeks ago.
Yes. Anyway, I think it might be an Infinity Jewel. I could be wrong. Check the chat. Somebody know in there?
So what are you trying to ask specifically?
But he's got a laser that shoots out of the.
Oh, okay. Forehead, right?
Yeah, forehead.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, the Vision is just cool. I mean, he's an android, so
he's he's related to Ultron.
He's got no emotion really. He's awesome.
Okay. So Matt in the chat is saying
Yes.
Son of Ultron. Oh, interesting. So is Vision in Age of Ultron? Do we know?
Yes.
Sweet. Okay, that's cool. I didn't even know that. I didn't even know there's a Vision townsperson because I didn't know who it was. I'm like, who's this little green dude? He can move through walls. He is yellow cape, and a green and yellow cape, and is an android. So that's sweet. So you're saying it's kind of cool that they used an obscure character. Let's speculate for a moment. So I just found out that he is the son of Ultron, and he's going to be in the Age of Ultron. Do you think this could be paving the way for some sort of plot device in a future episode of Toy Box Tales?
Oh, good Lord, yes.
Yeah? You think there might be
yeah.
an Ultron connection as we get further deeper into this rabbit hole?
I hope there's an Ultron connection that's leading up to a hint to an Ultron figure, because Ultron is probably one of the most powerful people or beings in the Marvel universe.
Awesome.
Besides
So,
Deadpool.
of course, of course. Deadpool trumps all for you.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
The Baroness A9 saying Jarvis becomes Vision in the movie. Spoiler alert. That's kind of cool. I haven't heard that.
Awesome sauce.
So Vision, what does Vision tell you to do? You have to boot up the other two turbines, right?
Yes. And so that one is one of them is a timed get all the power supplies, and the other one is a let's throw the people in the right containers, because they're little figures that come up.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I saw that, I saw the instructions. I was a little worried because my son came back downstairs to play, and I was like, "What's gonna happen? How is he gonna know who's Hydra? He doesn't know who Hydra is, and how they color coded it." So that was so good for little kids.
It was good for me because I read the instructions like 5 times, and I'm like, "Wait, you do what with what? You do purple and green, and but how do you know who's who?" So, so I'm right there with your son. I forgot one aspect of this I want to mention before we get to the turbines. There's that, for lack of a better word, the Minesweeper type action. Jason, have you played around with these toys in the toy box at all? They're the light up toys where you step on one toy and then you step on one light, it deactivates it, or it turns it red and the other 2 green. And so you have to get it's kind of a mini puzzle to get them all lit up green.
No, I have not played with those, I don't think.
So one thing that I thought was really interesting about this toy box is the myriad of different games, like these mini games you played. So we just talked about lighting these beacons up, which was basic, and each one kind of seemed like it increased in difficulty. And after you lit up those beacons, then you had to restore power for the turbines, I think, or for the bridge, and you had to step on these lights. Then, like Lim said, you have to go and do this toy collection challenge, which anyone who's played Infinity is well familiar with those by now. So it's kind of cool. I mean, I kind of dug that. I was like, oh, I feel like I'm playing Toy Story in space again. Lim, one thing I loved about these 2 turbines is that it really harkened back to me, at least, to the Avengers movie when they're in the turbines.
I thought of that.
Yeah.
I totally thought of that. I was like, what came up in my head was, it looks like it. I was like, I think it runs on some form of electricity.
Yeah. Yeah. So
that was awesome. I wanted to tell that to my son, but he wouldn't get it.
Yeah. He's like, I just want to blow stuff up. The modeling itself was really cool. Like, so Logan just sent me a text of Vision in the Ultron trailer. Thanks, buddy. So the modeling of the turbines I thought were really neat. So they were huge, and that's part of the scale, I think, is sort of what made it feel like the movies to me. But also they were multi-leveled, so it kind of looked like they had blades crisscrossing each other. And I just thought, I hats off to you, Papa Echo, and the community team for the detail and not only the helicarrier overall, but the turbines, because that was cool. And then let's talk a little bit more detail about this. Was one of the coolest mini game mechanics I've seen in Infinity so far. I'm sure others have done it, but this is just a really cool way of framing it. So you got the instructions, Lim. You have to press a button. You have 3 doors. One door is an interrogation door. So you throw these neutral guys in the interrogation room. They pop out randomly and tell you whether or not they're Hydra or they're S.H.I.E.L.D. And if they're S.H.I.E.L.D., you save them, you throw them into another door. And if they're Hydra, you throw them into the jail door or whatever it is. And each one has an awesome little saying. So like the S.H.I.E.L.D. guys would like, tell Director Fury that we'll get the turbines up any minute now or something like that. And Lim, what did the Hydra guys say?
They'll say Hail Hydra, and they'll say cut one head off to grow in its place.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah. Yeah, classic, baby.
It was so awesome. But then and then they made it really user friendly, like you said, Lim. They were color coded, so they are neutral, which was actually purple in this case. So you knew to throw them in the interrogation door, which is purple, and then they pop out blue or green for Shield or Hydra. Oh yeah, Sonic Photo would say Shield rocks. That's what happens when they come out as a Shield agent. So and then so this is where you and I were a little confused, Lim, because my camera screwed up here, so I think this was the end. Was this where it ended with you once you collected all those guys and you got the turbines up and running?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once I got the turbines up and running, it changed the camera view to where it was facing, like my front was always there, like I could never see my back. It turned the camera view so it could always see my front, which was kind of a cool view. I like that.
So that's where mine screwed up. I think it was too close to a wall, and it literally just kept shaking my camera, and that's why I couldn't see the text. But then it says something about Red Skull, right? Like the next one.
Red Skull got away with the plans that he was looking for, and said, "Come back for part 2."
Perfect. So so the saga continues where we have to fight Red Skull and fight the evil minions of Hydra, and I don't know. I thought this was a great first episode of Toy Box Tales. So let's talk a little bit about Toy Box Tales, not to be confused with Tales from the Toy Box, which is our Disney Infinity TV machinima, which we're actually going to have episode number 2 up next week. It's been a long time in the making. But
Believe it when we see it.
Hey, shut up, Jason. Oh, good thing my lights are so hot and you can't see me blushing. But yeah, so Toy Box Tales is an episodic toy box that's going to tell a continued story, and this is something that's been in the works with the community team for a very, very long time. We had even seen glimpses of it at the summit last year. Romulus was even pointing that out, saying he wished that this had come out sooner because they'd seen aspects of this at the summit last year. Long time in the making. Who knows why it took so long? I expect
probably because it had to be checked 100 times by Disney legal and PR. I dare say. I hope they can increase the speed in which it comes, because if you think about it, I mean, clearly this is another case of this was clearly supposed to come out a long time ago, and because what would have been nice is to have a Disney's what's it called, Toy Box Tales, that was Disney Originals based, since we had no playset anyway for 2.0. So it would have been nice to come out of the box with a Disney based one rather than a Marvel one, but obviously, again, I guess timing just screwed that up somewhat. So yeah, I think they've got to work out a way to get the turnaround a bit quicker on them.
Yeah,
but there's enough content there now. I think they said there's like 15 of them, so we'll be right for the next 15 weeks or so. So
yeah, so it is going to be a weekly thing. So we can see episode number 2 next week, or this week. So this Thursday, we should be getting the next one. So.
And what's going to be interesting is they're all like they're rotating through the artists that are on staff, so to speak. So each episode's, I think, sort of been helmed by a different artist. So it'd be interesting to see if the flavor or the if they feel different based on being built by different people. It'd be very interesting.
Yeah. So well, you may actually have a little more info on that than I do. So it's my understanding that the whole thing's a collaboration, but you're saying like the building of the boxes are generally a specific person, or what? I
think so. So we might have to clarify that, but I know that they say they sort of divided up the boxes a bit, I believe, between themselves. So I'm sure they helped each other, but sort of, I believe they were like, project lead or director of their own particular tale, so to speak.
That's kind of cool.
But I'm sure they were utilizing each other.
So maybe we should have been reporting our missions to Director Echo instead of Director Fury for this first version.
Yeah, but anyway, I think I think it's cool. I like that fact that you could have a different flavor each week. I think that's cool.
Totally. Yeah. Well, so I mean, we've seen some of their strengths. So we could imagine that one by Jose would be chock full of logic. One by Quinn would be a ton of story. One by Stuart would just be an amazing theming experience, and not to shortchange these guys because they're multi-talented. I'm not trying to pigeonhole them into these specific areas, but we do know that they have some strengths in different areas and stuff. So it's really kind of cool.
Definitely.
Yeah, and then Tyler Cole. We can't forget Tyler. He's a jack of all trades too. So gotta mention Tyler. So I don't know. So Jason, you dug it and you're excited for future episodes, huh?
Yeah, I think any content. I think we're really coming into like an age with Disney Infinity where like everyone's sort of stepped it up a bit, and I think content's actually only now 2 years in, actually becoming really super interesting to play, and we're getting this really broad range of different toy boxes to play that really are becoming must-play experiences, which is I think is really exciting. So, and I think anything they produce on that sort of level is really inspiring, and I like the fact that they've published them as downloadable toy boxes rather than toy box games, so that you can dissect them and work out how they did the certain things. Like during the live stream, we discovered a piece that no one had ever really seen before. It's the one that you can jump into and it sort of fires you up in the air, and it's a tree themed to a different theme, which I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's a really good place to discover good game mechanics to transfer into your own toy boxes.
Well, that's a great point, and they actually encourage that. So they want you to edit these toy boxes, play with them, remix them, and even republish them. If you, I read it and saw it. Actually, I forgot to mention this earlier. So there was a Wired article that came out the same day that the toy box episode, the first episode, launched. And it was a weird article. It did kind of cause a little bit of frustration among a few toy box artists, community artists like us. I mean, not us, but not the community team, but actual players who are toy box artists. Because there's some things said in here by Wired that just aren't right. For example, and I'll mention this and then we can move past it, but it's just really weird. Disney's Desires do note that they have the best of the best toy box creators working on this until late last year. It talks about Papa Echo joining the team, and they don't. So the games he designed at night were so strong, Disney offered him a job, and they don't expect most players to have that inclination or skills to create something so elaborate. So that's an example of something that was unfortunately the author of the article not quite understanding the how amazing the current community is, and how I mean, I love the community team, but there's artists out there that are building equally amazing toy boxes out there, and they are not working for Disney. But anyway, this was a cool article, and it was so cool that such a big publication, Wired is a really big tech magazine, picked up on this and ran a short story about Toy Box Tales. And in here it does talk about how Chad Liddell, our friend Chad, saying it has a television feel, and so that's where that episodic serialized story kind of plays in. Tune in every Thursday to find out more. They also talk a little bit about still it is possible, and if players want to see the inner workings of each level, they can view, edit, and even save their own remix versions of the Toy Box Tales. So it's really interesting. I love that it's also kind of a teaching tool, like you said, Jason. It allows people to learn from more of the masters and see what they use to create things. So Sumerian in the chat. Not going to repeat that, but that was pretty epic.
That's what I was giggling over.
So people in the chat are asking for the link. Thank you, Romulus, for posting it. It will also be in the show notes, so you can find that at our website. And it's a short read. It's only a page. It's not that long, but it's still really, really cool. Yeah. What else, guys?
Okay, so are we officially in the roundtable section, are we? Because I got a few things
Oh
here.
yeah, yeah, we are there, and I want you to start talking so I can stop.
And please, in the chat, if you want anything you want us to discuss, let us know, because I only got a few key things. I had a thought this morning. Here's the question I posed to you both. I mean, this is the season of delays. Would you prefer Disney Infinity 3.0 to be delayed if it was super buggy, or would you rather it have be released and then patched? Released on time and then patched frequently, or would you rather it have it delayed if it was like noticeably bad? What would you Len, what's your preference?
No bugs, please. I would prefer.
You're going to be severely disappointed. I'm sorry.
Yeah, there's no such thing as no bugs.
Okay, I would prefer less bugs. Let's just say,
Yeah.
because I'll admit, like my first run through on Disney Infinity 2.0 was on the 360, and we put the character down and made a sandwich.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be back. Be back in like 10 minutes. Oh,
But-
ham, please.
So you want delayed and finished or released more polished.
Yes, absolutely.
Boondog Man in the chat, Justin is saying released and then patched just like 2.0. Sumerian is saying with the speed that they patched bugs out, he's saying
I was
delay.
going to say, like, how long? Can you remember how long it was between 1.0 launch and that patch coming through? Like,
Yeah.
I want to say it was a long time.
Mm-hmm.
It was way too long.
I mean, I think there was a day one patch, like within like a week or so, that was sort of obviously like critical launch issue bugs. But then I feel like it was months before we got that major patch, which fixed a lot of things, like the toy box toys that were completely broken.
Can we still get an interior pack at all, or is that
What?
gonna happen?
Oh,
What do you-
yeah. I
Oh.
literally, my PS4 interior is still broken. I can't. I would
This
have
is my
to,
point.
Yeah.
This is totally my point. Would
So-
you prefer it to be delayed and polished? I mean, I was thinking about it, right? Because we've said a number of times before, why aren't they doing a beta program? But then I realized, well, they've got the community team, they've got the community team on staff who've clearly been building, we assume, in 3.0. So they are somewhat beta testing, because I thought a normal Q&A team stress testing the boxes by creating the kind of boxes that we, the greater community, are creating, if you know what I mean. I can't see Q&A testers maxing out boxes with creative stuff. I could see them, oh yeah,
Right.
the block placed fine. Tick. Release.
Right.
So, but I'm assuming that 3.0 isn't going to be this revolutionary complete rewrite. It's literally going to be a extension of whatever the 2.0 code was. So I guess that's another reason why you don't need an extensive beta, because ultimately it's just going to be polished 2.0 code with, the new toys or whatnot.
Yeah.
And so maybe a beta is not mission critical, but at the same time, in this day and age, like, it was, to this day, is still pretty broken and clearly no intention of actually fixing it. So I feel like they have to get it polished.
And that's a really frustrating thing, is that there's these things where you're like, it got 4 months in, let's say 4 or 5, 6 months in, and where are we at right now? We're probably, I don't know, 6 months in. At this point, you're like, yeah, I'm never getting my interior working. I'm just never gonna get that really cool pillared garden area in my interior, and whatever, I'm okay with that.
I had so many ideas for interior, much more than exterior.
Right. So Jason, back to your beta thing though, I think one thing that is a real concern with Infinity that other games don't have to contend with is that we're rabid fans, and like anything that people don't know about that you figure out is a scoop. And if you put a beta out there, I don't know how they could lock it down to the point where secrets couldn't be be revealed, even with NDAs signed and stuff like that. So I don't know how they could get around that. Uh,
Well, they had what were they? They had the E3 builds and stuff where they had the toy box. The stuff that you played had certain toys locked out. I mean, you
Yeah.
saw certain toys and stuff, which was cool. But
That's
yeah, I don't
true.
know. I'm just saying. I just think the question is, can Disney Infinity survive another game release that was as buggy as 2.0? That's the big question here. And obviously, the situation is though that they really can't afford to delay, because if it is Star Wars based, they need to capitalize on that. Obviously, the momentum of the Star Wars film. They want to be out before Star Wars Battlefront and the like. So I don't think that's on the cards. I don't think a delay is even on the cards. But that's why I still think it's worth discussing. If Zelda can get delayed, I think it is possible for Disney Infinity to get delayed, but that could be a momentum killer too, because all of a sudden we're in a situation now, no new figures announced, all of that.
So if I could choose, I would definitely have it delayed. I don't think it's going to. And I think, unfortunately, it can survive another buggy release if it is released buggy. It was buggy this time, and the toy box artists out there that were building, they were documenting those bugs to help themselves and others not repeat those same mistakes, but it didn't stop them from building. And I think you're right, Jason. There's a bottom line and there's investors that they have to make happy, and dates they have to meet. And unfortunately, that comes at a cost. It's a really short. I think we talked about it a couple weeks ago. So you have games like Assassin's Creed and Call of Duty that are released yearly. And Disney Infinity, from everything we've seen, is going to be a yearly release as well. But the difference is Disney Infinity is one primary team with tertiary developers helping with playsets, unlike Call of Duty or Assassin's Creed, who have entirely separate developers working on a 2-year cycle instead of a 1-year cycle to churn out these releases each year. And so I think that's a huge problem with Infinity. They almost need to do a 2-year cycle, but I don't know how you do something like that with Infinity because it's so iterative. With Call of Duty, you have the same engine that you just paint a different skin on. You put a different time on there and slightly different abilities. But with Infinity, it's one engine that's constantly improving. So do you know what I mean? Like, how could you build 2 years out?
Well, that's why I'm on the side of release it buggy, but just show us that you've got teams that are dedicated to like ironing out those bugs, because the reality is it's impossible to release a game like that without bugs because of the unknown quantity. If you don't know what the artists out there are actually going to do to your box, they don't. There's many ways that you can break it. You're just not going to be aware of it, and so, but you've got to show that you're here to help and not leave it broken. And so I think that's probably the solution. Put a team in place, a separate team that is literally dedicated to listening to bugs and reassuring people that yes, we've discovered that, we've repeated it, we are working on it.
So I have a very small bug on the iPad app, and it's one that's plaguing the iPad and the PC version of the game. So I went online and searched for it, Jason, and this is just to feed right into what you're saying. And there's so many forum posts without a single moderator response. So no response from Disney Infinity. And they say, on other forums I read, submit a support ticket in the support forum, same sort of thing. And it's disheartening when you have issues and there's no one telling you, like you said, that they're working on to try to fix. And I was devastated when I had my interior bug, and then I just stopped caring after a while because nothing was going to happen with it. So
I still care.
Well, thank you, Lem.
I want it to be fixed.
Well, that's because you're an interior guy like me. You love that interior.
Man, my freaking Secret Wars world is jacked up. I need to be back inside.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. Matt88, Jason, your team name is going to be Bugs Life.
Nice. Mighty Jida said that Toy Box should be updated and patched constantly. I completely agree. In fact, who is it? Like, there's a game out there, I'm sure, or is it the Xbox where they actually title it like there's a monthly patch, like the month, like that was what I want. Like from day one it launches, you go right. There's the October patch, the November patch, the December patch, and like they commit to a patch each month, and you can submit things that you want to try and get pushed into that monthly patch. That is enough to make you feel like, well, they care, obviously.
Yeah.
Because as you said, like with one team, and they can't afford to dedicate people to patching the game. Like once 3.0's out the door, within 2 to 3 months max, they'll all be working on Disney Infinity 4.0. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like if the game's successful, you have to put some money towards continuing to support the version that is out.
That's it, right? Isn't it? It's all about money. And so this is really kind of interesting because with Infinity, I mean, Infinity single-handedly, I don't want to say saved Disney Interactive, but definitely contributed the lion's share of them getting out of the red. And so you got to expect that there's a little bit excess money to throw around on improvements to the team, but word on the street is, and this is nothing from anyone we know or anything like that, but just while following kind of the gaming industry, word on the street is that Disney Interactive runs pretty lean, and so I would be surprised if even at this point, whether they have the bandwidth or not, they don't have. Or where they have the means or not, they don't have the bandwidth because they don't have the manpower to do something like this, Jason. And I don't know. Hopefully, it's something. If it's not in place now, it is recognized as needs improvement, and they will work on creating a really solid quality assurance team. I mean, the Toy Box mentors would be a great group for that because they are so experienced in the toy box, and I'm sure they're constantly logging bugs as well, but that's not their job. Their job is not logging or not pointing out and bugs and following up to that. They're fixed and then communicating that to the community. So yeah, it's definitely an area that needs improvement, and hopefully they listen to your awesome idea, Jason. Pirate Steve earlier said in the chat that if it's not an idea that comes from you, then it's not a good idea. So
well, I can't argue with that. That's absolutely true. The other thing I want to discuss the Disneyland project, and I haven't thought about this. This is literally on the fly. I just want to hear what you guys think about it. Because there's been some not controversy, but like I'm certainly, and I know there's other people out there that agree with me, who don't agree with the fact that they're ranking the Disneyland Project toy boxes. Like it doesn't make sense. Like it's like comparing apples and oranges, as they say. Like how can you compare, a Pirates of the Caribbean ride against a Haunted Mansion ride? It's completely different. Like there's nothing, but it more lays into the fact that like they've got this sweet overworld, and I love that it's available for download now. The Adventureland overworld, whatever you call it, is available for download, and that looks sensational. But my thing is, like, I have played the competitors, so to speak, toy box. The competitor for the Haunted Mansion and so on, and like it's just really disappointing because I've played the rival mansion, and there's some really great stuff in there, but there's also some really great stuff in our box, and part of me just feels disappointed that the regardless of whose mansion ends up in the Disneyland project, it's not the best mansion out there. The best mansion out there is the combination of both of our boxes, and so. Now, that's okay, if it's like a passing thing, but it's kind of my hope that this Disneyland project sort of lives on throughout Disney Infinity, that it'll be a consistently updated project as the different versions come out. And I hope it finds its place in its own separate area in 3.0 that you can, whenever you want to, download and play the Disneyland effectively. And so, I don't know, can you think of any way maybe it could have been handled a little bit better? to do that sort of thing?
Well, Sumerian in the chat is saying they should also not be a part of weekly challenges. They should be an entirely separate thing. So I agree with that, and the fact that, like you said, it should not be ranked. These submissions should be like, here are the winners for the Adventureland Frontierland challenge, and in no particular order. I mean, who knows if it's ranked because they have to give it in a certain order when they bring it up on Toy Box TV.
Good point.
But I mean, you could still leave out the numbers. You could just say, and then our final attraction is coming at
Just
you.
do them alphabetically.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect. So do you agree with that, Lim? Do you think that they should be, because they're apples to oranges, like Jason said, you're comparing, this next week you're comparing Pirates, Haunted Mansion, Jungle Cruise, the Splash Mountain, and Railroad, right?
Yeah, Mine Train.
Mine Train.
And I honestly can't think of why that would happen. Because I'm trying to find a way to defend it, and we think, okay, this is why it needs to happen this way, guys. Can't you see that?
Right.
But I can't, because if I've not been on any of the rides, so if I can't say, well, this is my favorite, so that might be a way to pick it. Well, this is my favorite line in the park, but I couldn't do that. It would have to be, give me 5 haunted mansions and let me pick out of there and compare it to the real haunted mansion. Great, this is the one that's closest to the real haunted mansion.
Romulus and Chad is making a great point. They've already set a precedence for this for the Thanksgiving and Christmas toy boxes. They were just featured toy boxes and not ranked. So they've actually done this before. So there's no reason why they are numbering it this time. That's a good point, Romulus. To your point, Jason, of combining the best of both worlds, I don't technically have no idea how you could do that, but it does support what our entire roundtable discussion was about last week, and that's collaboration. Maybe at the end of all of this, who knows, maybe they have some internal ranking and they're like, okay, the DITV guys' mansion and Vasuri 83's mansion was the best. I'm not saying that was the best, but we played theirs and we really like theirs. And so maybe they facilitate communication. All right, now you two, and two as in the names, get together and make the ultimate haunted mansion and then revise it. Jason, I don't know. I loaded up the Adventureland toy box today, and I loaded up into the Tiki Room, I think. I've never actually been to the Tiki Room. And so I don't think this was something that existed when I downloaded the toy box last week. So I wonder if they are actually updating as we speak right now, which could lend to the idea of them updating
would make sense, I guess.
Yeah.
But no, I think you're spot on, Will. I think that would have been good to have. Again, it just needed to be handled completely differently. And again, they don't have the. Well, I guess they've got their forum, but it would have just been nice to have that discussion, like Lem said. It's like, show us the top 5 mansions, and then have a discussion as a community to say, what do we like from each of these mansions, and then at the end of it, come out with the ultimate mansion, as you said, because that's what I'm looking for in these projects. This is what we've been asking for day one. That's how you get playset quality toy boxes, is because there's sort of like, these things that are treated at a higher level, and it's not competition. It's not, community member versus community member. It's the community working together to make the best Disneyland, to showcase the toy box to the people that aren't playing Disney Infinity.
Exactly.
So we're running out of time, but I did want to. You just made me think of something too, Jason. So, and also what the chat is saying, don't make it part of the normal challenges. So I can understand the having to condense it if it is a weekly challenge, but if it's on top of other challenges, what you can do is here this week, whatever this week, along with the challenge winners, we're gonna feature 5 of the best Haunted Mansion toy boxes. as a community, go download them and have some sort of voting mechanism, and then that way, it alleviates a little bit of that management that's required for whomever picks these toy boxes on Disney's end, and it feeds it into the community and lets us decide what we think is the best toy box. There's lots of issues there as well. So I don't know if that's necessarily the best idea, but I don't know. That's another way of kind of crowdsourcing that.
Yeah.
All right. Great thoughts, Jason. Next week we will either be cheering or crying, whether or not any one of your 3 toy boxes was released. Regardless, though, a member of the team will be live streaming this week's toy boxes like we did for the Fantasyland one a couple weeks ago. So be on the lookout for that. We're not really rating them, but it's kind of fun to go through these and give our thoughts on these attractions.
I officially find out if I've been blacklisted or not.
Yep, because of course. So
I can answer that right now. Yes, you have.
So be on the lookout. That's what, Thursday? We will find out the winners of the Adventureland Frontierland Challenge. We played a few of them. They're freaking amazing, so can't wait to see who the winners are. So be on the lookout for that, and I'm sure we'll be discussing them at length on next week's show as well. Again, before we head off, Model Train Man's in the chat now. So again, happy birthday to Lauren and Model Train Man, Nick. See you celebrating, and thanks for celebrating with us. Happy birthday! Your birthday's tomorrow as well. So, and rewind the show for Lim's birthday song. Lim, thank you so much, buddy, for joining us on tonight's show and talking to us about Toy Box Tales and these attraction toy boxes.
Oh, love it.
What have you been doing, and where can people find you at?
Well, I've taken a little bit of break from bad gaming, but I'm headed back to it. I have one more episode of the series that I was doing that I'm editing right now. So bit.ly/badgamerofficial, and you do have to capitalize each word, but you can also check out what I've been doing lately on Instagram at _ninjographer. Concentrating on the photography. It's wedding and concert season, so
nice.
Lots of photos coming up.
Been a busy boy.
Oh yeah.
Well, cool, buddy. Well, thanks again. We will have you on real soon, and by that point, maybe your bad gaming will be back online.
Yes.
Jason, my friend, what have you been up to lately?
I've been building in the toy box. I'm working on Nemo subs at the moment, and that's getting some good feedback on people that have seen it so far, so that's exciting.
Spectacular.
And I've been working on a brand new website that's toy box focused, so hopefully we'll have some news on that in the next few weeks. So yeah, been busy.
Well, yeah, I love it, man. I'm so proud of you. Not that my accolades mean anything to you at this point, but you have really become our toy box. Well, Pirate Steven as well, but you're on the show each and every week. So out of the two of us, you've definitely become the toy box master. So real proud of you. You've been coming up with brilliant ideas. Pirate Steven in the chat is saying that rankings are dumb until the boxes that Jason worked on get 1, 2, or 3.
Never a truer word said.
Seriously.
Never a truer word.
Sonic Photo is like, haha, yeah, on Monday he'll be like, I love rankings.
Makes so much sense now. Of course, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. So there's probably people in the back room who listen to the show each week that document our hypocrisies.
Another one
Too
for
funny.
Haynes.
Yep, another one for Haynes. So cool. Well, regardless, Jason, we will be talking more about the Nemo box, I'm sure. And so, yeah. Are you streaming anything these days, or are you keeping it under lock and key?
Yeah, I can't trust anyone. No, I actually am planning on. I do want to start streaming up again. I just got to pick the right box to do it, cool. And I will get onto that the next week or so as well.
Actually, can I call you out, because I need your expertise on a box that I want to build, and you probably could even guess what it is. And
no idea,
we could
but we'll work on it.
we could totally live stream it. So my dream from you is to help me work on a Carousel of Progress one, since it's not going to come out for Tomorrowland.
Awesome. Let's do that.
And if so, we can live stream that one. Cool. Lauren in the chat saying really looking forward to the Nemo one. So it's going to be great. So thanks, Lauren. Pirate Steve is saying it's incredible. God, you guys, you know that Jason's head, it started off much smaller than it is.
It's all right. I'm passing it off to you. It's all in your court now. So if it sucks, it's your fault.
Oh, thanks.
No problems.
Cool.
All the confidence in the world.
Yeah. So everyone, you can see my stuff below. If you want to follow me on my personal Twitch, you can do that. It's similar to my Twitter. It's @_Liam. I Twitch non-Infinity gameplay there, not for the kids. So I mean, I do try to keep the language PG, but the games I play aren't. So
nudity is offensive.
in the game or on the couch.
The games that
on
he
the
plays
couch
gives me nightmares.
Yeah. I guess I should probably change my gamer or my Twitch handle to Naked Gamer instead of Bad Gamer. Just kidding, everyone. Just kidding. So, well, thanks everyone for joining us this week. We really appreciate everyone in the chat. People are having a good time in there, and you're all our friends, and we love it. Eventually, we're gonna do a kind of a Hall of Heroes show and just mention all the people that have been with us, because we've had some viewers and listeners that have been supporting us for a long time, and we can't thank you all enough. With that being said, gentlemen, I think it's going to be it for the week. Keep building in those toy boxes. Lim, you enjoy your interiors. Jason, work on those subs. I'll work on the subs as well. Everyone out there in Infinity Land, have a good one. We'll see you next week. And until then, we hope your week is filled with infinite possibilities. We hope you enjoyed this week's episode of the Inside Infinity podcast, your source for all things Disney Infinity. Please subscribe to us for more videos where you can see us playing in the toy box, doing gameplay videos, doing tutorials, unlocking stuff. Great times. Also, check out our parent network, Res.tv. You can subscribe to them by clicking on the link, as well as vgpodcast.com.